this isn't working. Welcome to Let's Talk Cinema. So just to give you a little bit of background information, I am an ENG and documentary shooter, and I'm always stuck by my guns and using professional camcorders such as this one. This is the Canon XF605, and this is what has been paying my bills for the past years. Now this camera has everything built in. It has a wonderful screen, it has a built-in viewfinder, it has built-in ND filters, and it also has a lens where I can work with a range from 24 all the way up to 380 millimeters, all in one package. It also has built-in XLRs. So for me now, taking this little camera here, the mirrorless Panasonic GH7, no XLR microphones, no ND filters, and only a lens that goes from 12 to 60, that's going to be a bit of a challenge. Ever since I was a kid, I have loved animals and I love shooting wildlife. So I've given myself the challenge of going outside today and see if I can get some shots of my sheep. Now it's not as easy as you may think. I mean, they're not the most exciting animals in the world, perhaps, when it comes to movement and doing stuff. I mean, they do their thing. They graze and they walk around and they sleep, and that's basically what a sheep does. And I thought I wanted to break down the equipment I will be using throughout the day just real quick. So this is the Panasonic GH7. This is a small mirrorless camera, but very, very powerful. And this has a micro four thirds sensor. And why do I find this so intriguing? Utilizing something like the micro four thirds system, we're now operating of a crop factor of 2. So this means of every focal length you decide to put on here, you can multiply that by 2. So for instance, here we have a 12 to 60 lens. In 35 millimeter terms, this effectively becomes a 24 to 120 millimeters. And this is huge because this is a very small and lightweight package. So for instance, if you decide to put on a Leica 100 to 400, that effectively becomes 200 to 800 millimeters. In a very small, very light, very compact, and also very affordable package, as opposed to using something like a full frame system where the glass is a lot heavier, a lot more bulkier, and certainly a lot more expensive. So I think this system has a lot going for it when filming wildlife. So I brought with me the Panasonic GH7, and I paired it with my 12 to 60 lens. That is the only MFT lens I have currently, so I want to see how this goes. All my audio is being recorded into a Sennheiser 416. I put it inside of a Zeppeliner, and I'm recording to a Zoom F3 device. And you can see here, this is basically my rig for today. Why am I using a recorder and not a microphone on the camera? Well, first of all, I wanted to see how this works out in the field. This is a wonderful recorder. It has 2 channels. We can see here. Number 1 and number 2, they are both XLR, so high quality contacts as well. But the real advantage to using a recorder such as this is that we can record to 32-bit float audio. Now, if you're not familiar with 32-bit float audio is, it's I kind of try and think of it like a log image, because we have a huge dynamic range to work with as opposed to Rec 709 and 24-bit. I like to compare 32-bit float to my log image, where we just have a lot of flexibility and a lot of stuff to work with in post. And it's also very hard, or perhaps it's even impossible, to distort 32-bit audio, to clip it. So you can basically just set a level, set it to record, and just go. So that is why I have chosen this one. And furthermore, just wanted to run through this one. This is a Sennheiser 416 within a blimp made by Sennheiser as well. We can just loosen this. I'm just going to show you real quick Screw this one, take off the whole hood, and inside here I have a standard within the broadcast industry. This is the old venerable Sennheiser MKH 416, which has a really lovely sound, but I think it works best outdoors. I want to capture the from the little lambs, and I also want to capture the bells that my sheep are using, because the bells we're using on my farm, they say pling pling pling, which is a very special sound in these parts, and it's very uncommon in Norway in general. And I really want to try and capture and see if I can get that nice audio and really make it shine as it should by utilizing a shotgun microphone like this. So that is why I have chosen this system. The performance in the field is rather impeccable. We have high quality video and high quality audio being recorded into a very nice external audio recorder. But there are some serious drawbacks, and those have to do with connection and battery life, which I sadly found out in the field. So I thought I was clever. I went outside and I had forgotten my battery inside of the camera. So I had to run back 400 meters, or not run, but walk back 400 meters, came back, started recording, and then all of a sudden my Zoom audio recorder died on me, so I had to go back again, get some new batteries, another 400 meters back and forth. So now I'm back on location, I'm back in my outdoor office, so let's go and see if we can get some shots of these sheep. So I'm sitting here in post, and there are some definite drawbacks of working this way. So one of the biggest problems with this Zoom recorder is that it doesn't have time code. This camera has time code out and in, so you can basically sync up any device you want. But this recorder here doesn't have any time code at all, so the only way for me to sync these two together, images and audio, is by using the old clapping method. It's a bit cumbersome, I know. I mean, you can sync them up great in post, but in real life, so what I had to do on location is I had to keep both of them running, which is why you see my camera is all over the place. I'm trying to find my composition, my framing, I'm trying to find my focus, and I'm also trying to find my exposure. Well, it's not really working out the way I was hoping. This is the XLR module from Panasonic. It's called the DMW XLR2. Now, this would be a nice and neat little solution. As we can see here, it's a bit limited, these images from B&H, but this is an XLR module which you can mount to your camera via this one. This is the hot shoe, and you have two XLR inputs. We can see here input number 1 and input number 2, and we can adjust the audio separately. We also have a gain low cut filter, limiter on off. I mean, it's a pretty nice little sound module. And if we go to the specs, we can see here that it enables 32-bit float recording, improving the quality and efficiency of the entire workflow. That's definitely the efficiency, because that wasn't working at all. One of the definite drawbacks of working with a mirrorless camera is they do have this stepping motor when you're trying to find your exposure, and you can see there's a definite shift in exposure, not as smooth as when you have a manual aperture ring which you can turn. Here everything is working off by this little jog wheel here, so it's not really working out. So you need to find your framing and exposure and then you hit record, because if I have delivered images like this to post to a producer, I mean, I am a producer, I would have been fired before I had even been considered hired for a job. So that is one of the definite drawbacks of working with a mirrorless system such as this. There's nothing more frustrating than being stuck with the wrong lens at the wrong time. I could have picked off shot after shot after shot, but only the 60mm at the long end. And even though MFT or Micro Four Thirds has a 2x crop factor, so we effectively making it to 120mm, it just doesn't cut it. I'm just not being able to get close enough. The animals are really shy today. And this time of year, they are very protective of their lambs. They've just been released onto the field. So, I mean, they are very protective and looking after them. So that's why they're shying away from me and my camera. That's when I need a longer lens. So, so I need to go online and do some research and see if I can find a longer focal length, because 12 to 60, that just doesn't cut it today. And when I say I'm not working out, it's really about the system not working correctly for me the way I'm used to. But this is because I'm coming from an ENG background with different cameras. I'm used to shooting on camcorders. So the real advantage of choosing a mirrorless system is that you can choose whatever kind of lens you want to put on. And you can put on some really high quality glass that you cannot change within the professional camcorder systems, because the lenses there are fixed. So there are some really clear advantages to using a mirrorless system, where you can change out your lenses depending on the style and look you are going for. But even though I'm not getting as close as I want to, the images are absolutely wonderful. Everything is being recorded in ProRes 422 at 5.7K. So I literally ran out of runtime on my camera, and it wasn't even the battery. That was the thing that impressed me perhaps the most. I had a fully charged battery when I went out. I think I've shot around 30 minutes or so, but the thing is I had to keep everything recording because of the time code. There is no time code on the Zoom, and so that's why I had to keep everything running to maintain my audio in sync. And of course, when I have run out of memory card, that is when my sheep are coming running towards me and want to be in my shot. Can you believe these animals? I mean, they're so unpredictable. But that is also the fun thing about shooting wildlife. You never know what's going to happen, but still I've had a wonderful time. I've had a great time outdoors, and I really enjoying being a filmmaker. I mean, look at these surroundings that I'm working in. Wow. I praise myself every day for being this lucky. So I do hope you found something of value to take away after watching this video. I certainly had a lot of fun making it, and working with a Panasonic GH7 was a blast. Can I recommend this system? Well, I can certainly recommend the camera. I will not recommend doing it with my setup, because that was just too cumbersome and my workflow wasn't working at all. But that is all about experimenting and trying to make things work, and that's what I do on this channel. I pride myself on keeping everything authentic, not polished, but showing you the world as it is. I find it very amusing that almost every YouTuber out there is delivering polished videos. Everything looks glossy and nice. The world isn't like that. I am trying to show you exactly what could happen out in the field, and that is what my channel is all about. If you did enjoy this content, please consider giving it a thumbs up, perhaps sharing it with your friends, and please also do consider subscribing to my channel, because there's a lot more content like this coming, both on the GH7 and tips and tricks on filmmaking in general. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.